Hello. Today, it's a high caffeine day today. I decided, I usually don't go anything over 300 milligrams, maybe 350 at most. But usually I'm around, like 158 if I get a monster to like 250 max. But today I was like, it's leg day. Let me up my caffeine dose this one day just a little bit. Had 2 little energy shot things. So I'm at 460 milligrams of caffeine. I know that's not very much to like the crazy, lifter, but I don't like to up my dosage of caffeine too much. I think it's a little bit of a crazy thing to do. But today, the intro workout / pre-workout carbs will be a Body Armor orange mango drink. I already had a sip of this, but I will give you a little review. 6 or 7 out of 10. Pretty good. But on terms of the leg day today, it's going to be leg press, leg extension. No, not leg extensions, because the leg extension here is kind of buns. I'm not going to lie. So leg extension, leg press, hamstring curls, abductor work, what else? What else is there in the book? Calf raises and some planks at the end, some side planks. So super simple kind of leg day / a little bit of abs because I need to focus more on abs, but without hurting myself, right? So, because with this whole, injury thing I gotta go through, I can't do any type of not planks, but any type of crunches. So it kind of sucks because, I actually, enjoy doing certain ab movements like the ab crunch machines and stuff, but it is what it is. This is, I've kind of taken this whole injury approach thing to how I used to train. I used to not doing any type of hinge movements. I used to not do any type of ab work, really. So, it's kind of like a go back in the day and kind of train how I used to train. So, I'd say I'm not going to complain too much about it. And when I was 17, I looked pretty good, dude. Like, I was more aesthetically pleasing looking, I think, back then, which is kind of crazy. I'm definitely stronger, bigger, and I'm like, overall, I look better. But if you're looking for that kind of David Late aesthetic look, 17-year-old me had that, bro. I looked pretty good. Like, I was lean. I had the proportions to match that, everything. So, I'm not saying I'm not lean now, but just if you're wanting like the more lean aesthetic look, that's what I would look like. But now it's more like not a power builder look at all, but just more of like a more well-rounded version, right? Because back then I had like a 27-inch waist and stuff, and I'm around that. It's just everything else is bigger now, right? So, and the thing about getting bigger in the gym is sometimes when you're doing movements that take more core, if you're training core, your waist gets a little bigger. Not like if you're training obliques, your waist will get a lot bigger. I don't train obliques. I just train like just the front of my abs. Sometimes I'll train obliques. Like I'll do a set of like oblique crunches every once a week, couple sets, just to really get those fish gills on the side. But then now, because it helps my injury, I'll do side planks every now and then also, which is what I'll be doing today. So, yeah, low intensity. Not low intensity. I keep saying that. Low volume training again. Yeah, I'm gonna look forward to it. I'm excited and I'm ready. I'm gonna wear this beanie in the gym today because it matches the fit, and I need to get a haircut soon. Like in the next week or 2, I should probably get one. I don't know if it's going to be another buzz cut or if I'm actually going to do something more professionally done. I don't exactly know. If you want to leave in the comments haircuts I could get, go right ahead, man. I'm not going to be disappointed if you say I look chopped and need a haircut. But overall, I'm ready to get in there, so let's do it. Alright, so the first movement we got today is a quad dominant movement. As you can see, we know that by our feet being close together and our feet being relatively low on the platform, because too high will be causing a lot of glutes and too wide will be causing a lot more abductors. So I did 2 sets of this today, and the second set I did abductor work, so my feet were around the same height but just farther apart from each other. But make sure your feet are slightly angled outwards. Make sure you go far down as you can, comfortably, without hurting your lower back or your groin or anything else. And then just keep pushing hard to failure. Now we're going to be doing seated hamstring curls, just a really good exercise to get a great squeeze. Make sure you lean forward up on the seat to get the best stretch possible. But for this circumstance, it felt better for this, like the stretch portion, just to lean back. I don't exactly know why, but I don't know. But make sure you just get a really good squeeze at the bottom. Hold down there for a second. Go controlled and slow on the way up, and squeeze as hard as you can. Either this was the heaviest abductor machine of all time, or it was just because my abductors were tired and fatigued from doing that one leg press set where they were a little bit wider. But we're going to be working on the inner thigh, or the abductors, just got our leg a little wider from the front. But make sure you get a deep squeeze in the top part of the portion and get a deep stretch at the back. And, work on your mobility, guys, because the more kind of stretched out you can get for this machine, the way better you can get from this machine. So just did a set of this and then hamstring curls. And then right after this, we did 3 sets of calf raises. All right, we did, let's see, after, the things you only didn't see was cardio and a little bit of ab work. I did 3 sets of planks with 2 sets of side planks, and then 3 sets of single leg, like where your foot is on a plate, like a 25-pound plate, and then you hold another plate, because I hate it. I don't know why. My calves have been cramping every time I do a seated calf raise. Every time now. I don't know if it's because it's at the end. So if I want to train calves, which I do, and I don't mind doing calves. Calves aren't bad. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm just going to do them at the very beginning, because even with the potassium in the body armor, that's for not cramping, and I ate a banana before I went, I was still cramping. But overall today, I did about 7 sets. Let me think. 2 sets of leg press, 1 set of adductor, 1 set of hamstring curls. What else? 3 sets of calf raises. 3 sets of calf raises. And then those abs, but I kind of count those as a separate thing. I mean, you can count them. So I did 11 sets. 12 or 11 sets, which is a higher volume day. But for my legs purely, it was a low volume day. Definitely. Got a little bit of a... I don't have my gloves for my kickboxing, so I've been hitting the bag. I hit the bag today. 15 minutes, maybe 10, and then I did 15 minutes of basketball afterwards. And I'm telling you, dude, it doesn't really hurt. I punch pretty hard and stuff, but I'm not going 100% because it's just kind of getting more of the form and everything down. I'm not fighting somebody, but I'm going 75% on the bag or something. But it looks like it hurts, but it really doesn't. But I would like to have my gloves, because I've been slacking a little bit on my kickboxing training, because just whatever not. whatever. So getting back into that, this is my second day getting back into it. It's fun though. I really enjoy kicking and punching the bag a lot, dude. Like, it's, for one, it's therapeutic because you're hitting something, right? Like, the weights are awesome. I'm not saying I enjoy kickboxing more, because I definitely don't, but it is sometimes more relieving. Sometimes the weights, it's not always relieving, and you get more, and you're more injury prone for the weights. So, but yeah. Overall, even though, like, I've been doing a lot more cardio and everything, my recovery's been very good. Knock on wood, because I don't want, to, jinx that or anything. But my recovery's been fairly well. Yeah. Been getting strong on all my lifts and everything. I think a lot of that's because of the low volume I've been doing. And what I've been just seeing is just cutting my sessions in half. Well, for one, I save more time. I didn't take very much time in the gym, first of all. Like, I took like an hour lifting weights max, which isn't the longest, but now I'm doing like 30, 40 minute workouts now, and it allows me to do more cardio, which I'm not saying I would much rather do more cardio than I would more weightlifting, but I'm able to, like, back in the day when I was, during peak season at my job, sometimes I would only have time to lift weights, and that was it. I wouldn't have time to do any cardio. I would just count my job as cardio, which it kind of was sometimes. Like, sometimes it would be harder, and I'd sweat a little bit, but especially because it was summer. But, if you can get tracked cardio in, like, I should probably get an Apple Watch or something, but I heard a lot of those things are inaccurate, and I've heard the Apple Watch is like 50 or it's like only 20% accurate. But if you're able to track something like on like a treadmill or something, I'd much rather do that. That's why I enjoy that cardio a lot, just because I'm able to track. Like, if it says I burned 200 calories, let's say I want to go and I want to do 30 minutes of cardio, I can see how much 30 minutes of cardio has done for me. And let's say I'm like at 245 calories. Well, I'm like, okay, I want to get to 250. Okay, five more calories. Let's do 25 more seconds worth of cardio. But you know what I'm saying? Just, I like to see that even number. But, because when you're doing cardio on, like I said, basketball, kickboxing, or, your work is physical, unless you have a watch of some sort that tracks that kind of stuff, it's not always reliable to see how much you're doing, right? Because it's like, okay, I can do 25 minutes or 30 minutes total of basketball and kickboxing total, but how many calories did I burn? I have no idea, right? I imagine it's a good amount because you're moving way more than on like a treadmill or something, but seeing that number on the screen or whatever just helps me a lot. And I'm not spending money on a Fitbit or anything. I used to have one when I was a freshman, I think, or 8th grade or something, just to look at what my calories are doing when I was playing basketball or something. I don't remember what it was, but I always enjoyed having one of those, but they cost moolah, and I don't want to spend my moolah on something like that. You can kind of estimate, but it's never fully accurate. So I'd recommend doing cardio on a treadmill, on a Stairmaster, on a bike or something with the screen that shows you. But if you don't have one, whatever. But also, do cardio that you're going to enjoy. I mean, I wouldn't probably enjoy the Stairmaster or treadmill or bike if I didn't have you guys to talk to while I'm doing it, or if I didn't have something to watch. Because, like, when I'm just talking to you guys, time goes like that, because I'm just in a good thought pattern, most times, and it just goes by really quick. But when I'm just doing the treadmill, and I've done this before, and I'm not watching anything, not talking to you guys, whatever, it goes so slow. Like, so slow. I remember I did it for like an hour at one point. It was actually only 15 minutes. Worst time of my life. And I was just like, dude, that felt so bad. I hated that. Part of that, is my dopamine receptors and stuff. I need dopamine. But at the same time, it's just like, it's like a hamster on a wheel. It's just repetitive and you're not doing anything. You can say, well, what's the difference with weights? Well, the weights is I can see something moving up and down, and I feel more of a burn and stuff. I don't know. Weightlifting is just addictive, man. That's really it at the end of the day. Sometimes it's a little bit more boring than other days, right? Like sometimes, like biceps, sometimes it's just not fun. Like, I'm never saying I'm not having fun, but some days it's just subpar more than usual. Like one day it's like, oh yeah, this is awesome, I'm having a great time. And then another day it's like, man, this has been going on for a while. What am I doing? I've never really gotten to that point, actually. But, you know, I have gotten to a point where I'm like, damn, dude, I'm tired. But, you know, whatever not. But I hope you guys have a very blessed day. Goodbye.